Welcome to the 5A State Championship. We finished up 6A this morning with Bingham getting a win over Harriman in Game 2, their second win, and they are crowned your 6A State Champions. That's Bingham Miners. But now we've got Game 2 of this one. Spanish Fort got the win in Game 1. And so now here we go in Game 2. I'm Mark Winterton. Also joining me this afternoon, James Edward. And Game 1, how should I put it? Very non-eventful. A pitcher's battle.
A pitcher's duel. I think that's what we call that, right? A pitcher's duel, 1-0 game, 20 strikeouts between the two pitchers. Base hits were hard to come by, but there were base runners in that game, and both teams had chances, but the pitchers came up with the big pitches, and that's why it was 1-0 scoreline.
Well, Eva Stoddard definitely had to fight on the pitcher's mound. There were a couple of times where she had several batters on base, runners on base, that could have scored, and she was able to retire them.
Yeah, she did. I talked to her before the game. She said I was spinning it really well. It was a great game for her. And even going back, Spanish Fork, Bountiful, they had a runner in scoring position. I went back and looked at the box score. They had a runner in scoring position in 5 of the 7 innings.
They did.
They had a runner at second or third in 5 of the 7 innings. They didn't have a lot of hits, but I think they had 4 hits, but they had 3 walks, and they found a way to get those runners in scoring position in almost every inning. But they never got the big hit, and that's what Avery Sapp does. You have a hard time. You can get a hit on her. Maybe you'll get a runner there, but, getting those 2-3 hits, big innings, that's very, very difficult. And that's why she won.
Well, and Sapp will be on the mound again for the Dons. Deadly. We talked about she's got, I think, most strikeouts in the state as far as
I don't know that she does have the most this year because she hasn't pitched as many innings. Some pitchers have almost pitched every single inning.
Oh, you're right.
She's more in about 170 strikeouts. She's definitely in the top 5 for sure.
I think I'm actually confusing her and the Harriman
Kiara
pitcher.
Smith, yeah. Kiara Smith definitely has a lot, but
that's the one. That's right. Yeah. Well, and so it's been 4 teams here in the state championship for the 5A and 6A, and 4 phenomenal pitchers for each of the teams. So it's been fun as we get started here. Dons, of course, will be the home team, and so the Redhawks up first to bat.
Yeah, J.C. Alvey stepping in. She bat second in the lineup yesterday, but coaches moved her to lead off. She was the only one who didn't have a strikeout, as you remember, yesterday against Avery Sapp. She went 1 for 4. She had that single in the 7th inning that actually gave him a little bit of hope. So coach just making a slight change. Butch Laddie moving her to the leadoff spot. See if that trend continues for her.
1 ball, 1 strike, and there is a strike to make it 2. 1-2 count here. We talked a little bit about the Bountiful coaches yesterday, but coached by Butch Lady and assistant coach Ron Osborne.
Yeah, they've been
both up there in their years.
Yeah, both. They've been doing it a while. They've coached a lot of great athletes at Bountiful.
A lot of experience there.
Yeah. So Alvey, just a sophomore, she's batting .486, and like I said yesterday, she was 1 for 4 against Avery Sapp. Got the single. Not a lot of power. Only 6 extra base hits from her, so I look at her stats. But definitely get a player that can get on base. And there's a reason she's moving to lead off today.
Sapp. Pitch comes there, another slap there.
Good at bat.
Foul ball. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes Sapp's pitch.
Outside, way to lay off it for Alvey. Works the count full.
So the third baseman makes the easy ground out.
Very routine play there for Peyton Hall. I'm sure that feels nice when you're the infielder and you get that first one, get a nice hop, no short hop, just field it cleanly and
kind of like
easy out.
A warm-up play, right?
Yeah.
Get you into the swing of things. So now Melissa Turpin, who of course you mentioned was the leadoff yesterday, but now is coming in second here with a ball one.
She went 1 for 4. 1 for 4 yesterday with a double. And in fact, I talked with Spanish Fork coach Natalie Jarvis after the game yesterday, and I talked about your center fielder was playing pretty shallow, and they had those 2 doubles that were hit over their head, and she said, we'll probably make an adjustment. And you look at where the center fielder is standing right now, and she's about 10 steps further back than she was against Turpin on at least the double that she hit. So recognizing a little bit more power than maybe they anticipated.
Sapp's pitch comes in a little high for ball 2. Turpin trying to keep Sapp guessing there. Another ball. And so we've got 3 balls, 1 strike here for Turpin. A 3-1 pitch. Comes in high. Strike. No. I was waiting for that. I was like, was it high? What do we got here? We got a full count.
It's a little hard to tell from our angle.
Turpin puts it over the shortstop, and she'll get a base hit.
Yeah, there's the base hit for her. Nice start for her getting on base. Now stepping in, Eva Stoddard, starting pitcher. She was 1 for 4 yesterday. Had a single.
And you talked about how both her sisters played for Bountiful.
Yeah, a little bit of an age gap between her and her older sister, but they definitely were a big part of the program that has been pretty consistently among probably the top 4 in their classification. Oh, she gets a hold of that.
Stoddard, left field, gets under it. Oh, and they drop it. Can she get there? She's not going to get there in time. So the 2 collide, which that's why the drop.
Yeah, and a little bit of, I don't know if that's on the runner or the first base coach, because as deep as that ball is in left field, she should probably be halfway, just in case something like that happens. I don't know if she'd backtrack. I was kind of watching the fielder. But, yeah, so really no harm if you're Spanish Fork. Runner at first, just like it was before that at-bat. But good contact for Eva. That's the type of ball. That's probably right at the fence if that ball's hit at Cottonwood Complex, where the first couple of days of the state tournament were held.
Yeah, it was a deep ball, just a little too high, carried too much. We saw
Athena Tonganovai stepping in here, cleanup hitter, and she had 2 walks against Avery Sapp yesterday. She was 0 for 1, but she got on base with a couple of walks. She's definitely seeing it well.
Yeah, she's going to knock this one up, and they're going to get the 3rd out right there, shortstop, and retires the Redhawks batters.
Some pretty good contact from the Bountiful hitters. Obviously, nothing to show for it. Had the 1 hit, but they got it. I talked with
more hitting than what you're saying we saw yesterday. Yeah.
Well, in talking with the Bingham coach after their win over Harriman to win the 6A championship today, her coach talked about, we saw the pitcher yesterday, and the kids really felt like they knew what to expect in the batter's box a little bit more. Now you wonder if, as a result of that, this game here, we're going to see both teams maybe hit the ball a little bit better than they did in game 1. We only had the 1 run yesterday. I don't know. I mean, both pitchers are really good. There's no reason they both can't duplicate that performance. But at least the first inning, they were hitting the ball a little bit better. squaring it up, it seemed like.
Well, in the Harriman-Bingham game, the first inning was nothing, couple zeros.
Yep.
And then Bingham really started to light things up.
Yeah.
They only had 2 innings, I want to say, that were they didn't score. I'm curious to see how Spanish Fork reacts with the hitting power that they have, how they react. It's similar to what Bingham did in 6A. Do they react similarly here in the 5A state championship?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And I talked with Eva Stoddard before the game, and I just said, it looked like you were spinning it pretty well yesterday. Is that a fair assessment? And she smiled. She's like, yeah, I was spinning it really well yesterday. So she needs to do that again. And even then, as good as she pitched, they still lost a 1-0 game. So it's going to have to be just as good if they're going to hang in there. But for her, that's got to be a ton of confidence as you come here for this second game, hoping that you play a third game, knowing that you played well yesterday. It's not a situation where I gave up 9 runs. I got to make big changes. She just got to do exactly what she did yesterday, less than 24 hours ago. Well, here we go. Jade Romero, leadoff hitter, stepping in. She had a great day yesterday at the plate. 2 for 3, a couple of singles, a walk. Oh.
An error there. We'll put her on base.
She hit that to her shortstop counterpart and couldn't quite make the play. Came up on her just a little bit. Obviously a play that she would expect to make 10 times out of 10. But now leadoff runner on. And Tatum Hall stepping in. We talked a little bit yesterday. Batting average-wise, she's the top hitter on Spanish Fork this year, but she was 0 for 4 yesterday. She hit a couple of balls hard, but never found a way on base.
And very rare for Spanish Fork they're going to get, she's safe.
A mistake there by someone not covering third. Allowed the Spanish Fork runner to advance from second to third. Heads up base running.
Spanish Fork has 2 losses on the year. First one coming to Riverton, actually, in the first game of the season. But they lost 10-11. Yeah. They still put 10 runs on the board. Their other loss came against
is it Bear River?
Bear River,
yeah.
And 6-7.
Yeah, 4A state champs there, Bear River.
And so you're losing 6-7. That game yesterday was the least runs that they have scored all year long. And not even close.
Yeah.
So they only got 1 run, and other than that, they've put up, I think their least was 4.
But the run they had yesterday was an aggressive base running by Peyton Hall to go from first to third on a single. And we just saw it there. The exact same thing. Jade Romero, ground ball. She's recognizing who's not covering third. Coach, I know Natalie Jarvis is yelling at her, and she takes that extra base. And now they have a runner at third with 1 out where a ground ball out, sacrifice fly. You can score a lot of ways with a runner at third and less than 2 out.
Hall with another foul ball, staying alive. So no balls, 2 strikes here, 1 out.
Yeah, Peyton was 0 for 1 yesterday, but she did get on base with a pair of walks. UVU commit, just be playing softball, just, do we say down the road, up the hill? I don't know what we say.
I don't know what
you got to go up and down to get there from here. Either way, her and Avery Sapp are high school teammate, they'll be college teammates. Making her work. Just keep fouling it off if you're Peyton Hall.
So Romero on third, 1 out here, 1-2 count on Hall, and
she's a .494 hitter.
Peyton is. And right to the third baseman. Third baseman takes a look at at Romero. I like the check.
Yeah, kept her there.
She stares down Romero long enough to then deliver it to first, gets the out, and keeps Romero in check.
Romero's fast. Not fast enough to make a play for home there, especially when you got Avery Sapp stepping up. She can one swing, bring her in. Avery Sapp, she was 1 for 3 yesterday.
Her dad played little minor league, major league baseball, minor league baseball?
Minor league baseball. He actually was a standout baseball player at Taylorsville High School. In fact, Tatum and Peyton Hall, their sisters, their dad also played minor league baseball, and so the Sapp father and the Hall father, they both played AA ball about the same time together in the same league. I can't remember what it was. And I did a story on it last year, and I was digging deep through box scores and archives to see if they ever played against each other. And I could never find one where they overlapped. But, yeah, they were kind of in this. It was like in Ohio. Back in the Midwest, they were in a single AA league.
Did they play against each other here in Utah?
No, because I believe Peyton Hall's and Tatum Hall's father, I believe, is from California.
Oh. Okay. So he moved here.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah. It was after the playing days were over, he ended up here. But, yeah, Damian Sapp, Taylorsville High School, back in the glory days of T-ville baseball.
Taylorsville was a big powerhouse in baseball.
Yeah. Well, Avery Sapp reaches on a walk. Now runners at the corner for Elise Archuleta, and I think Elise and Jade Romero are probably the two hitters yesterday for Spanish Fork that had probably the most productive at-bats. Elise was 2 for 2 with a couple of singles and a walk. Found herself on base 3 times.
Shelby Shepard's going to come and run for Avery. So Romero at third and Shepard at first. And Archuleta up to bat. 2 outs.
She's a .481 hitter this year.
Ball 1.
The five hitter. We talked yesterday about the top 4 hitters in Spanish Fork lineup all have double-digit home runs. And the top 5, 1 through 5 in the batting order, are all batting .450 and higher. .470 and higher if we want to be.
I think that's why I was so blown away at Stoddard's performance yesterday.
Yeah.
And only allowing 1 run in that game against this. As you call them, a powerhouse hitting team. I mean, they haven't really had a challenge in the playoffs, have they? Has Spanish Fork had a challenge?
No.
In the playoffs?
I mean, in their win against Tooele on Wednesday, their first game, they won 5-2. It was never really threatened, but they only had 3 hits. Now they had 8 walks, so they were putting a lot of runners on.
But really, yesterday was the one game that maybe even close to a scare. See if Stoddard can work her way out of this. 3 balls. No strikeout or no strikes here against Archuleta. And again, Romero at third and Shepard at first. Here's the pitch. She's going to walk her, so she'll load the bases. No harm.
Elise.
As long as you don't allow a home run.
Man, I'm looking here at Elise's stats. She's in a 7-game hitting streak, and she's just tearing the cover off the ball in these playoffs. 3 for 3, 2 for 4, 2 for 2, 2 for 2. I mean, she is seeing it well, and here she is on base again 3 times yesterday, and on base again here to lead off for her first at-bat of the first inning.
And so this brings us Paige Pierce. Another college commit. Strike 1.
She had the lone RBI yesterday, that little dink hit to first base. It was enough to bring Peyton Hall home.
It was just that kind of a roller, right?
Yeah.
Just rolled its way to first. Gave the runner at third enough time to run home. One ball, one strike here against Pierce. And the 1-1 pitch. Foul ball.
Yeah, Page was 0 for 3 yesterday. In fact, the bottom 4 hitters in the lineup for Spanish Fork yesterday, Ava Stoddard got him 0 for 11. There was 1 walk. So this is the part of the lineup that she took care of yesterday. Can she do it again and get out of this jam?
Foul ball.
In fact, this is almost, if I recall, she had bases loaded.
I think so. I think this is almost identical.
And guess who she struck out to get out of that inning?
Paige Pierce.
Paige Pierce.
Oh, and it's going to go right field. Right fielder comes up, makes the catch, and that will end the inning. So, similar. They get the out.
She got out of it.
And that'll end our inning number 1 with a couple of goose eggs up there on the board. We'll be back after this quick break.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snowplows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
And welcome back. It is the 5A state championship game. This is game 2. As we get ready to start the second inning, I'm Mark Winterton, James Edward joining me.
I was talking with Avery Sapp after her dominant performance last night, and I said, can you believe that you're going to put that uniform on for the last time tomorrow? And she's like, I know, and it's going to be our new uniforms, our gray uniforms.
Oh.
So apparently these were the new uniforms they got this year. They wore the classic, kind of the striped jersey, kind of like throwback 80s looking jersey yesterday, and this is definitely more of a modern looking jersey. And I know if you're a player putting on that jersey, a nice jersey,
yeah,
it feels so cool.
There's a different feeling to it, right?
Any age, whether you're a little leaguer, high schooler, maybe the pros don't care as much, but I gotta think maybe so, right?
No, I think it's still, you put that uniform on and
maybe we can
now you're representing something.
Yeah, maybe we can go ask Avery Sapp's dad. He played in the minors. Did he still like putting
What did it feel like when
Yeah.
you put the uniform on? Still have a different feel. Ooh. Change up there. Threw her off, I think.
Yeah. Avery, I talked to her, and she said her changeup, she called it iffy yesterday. Her rise ball, she said, I was doing well, but my changeup was iffy. That was a good change, though.
This is Ella Miller, and she's got a full count.
And she was 0 for 3 yesterday.
That was the sophomore pitcher for Bountiful. And here comes Sapp's pitch. Ooh.
Outside.
Miller will take her base.
First time on base in the championship series here for Ella. Now Bo Hoff stepping in. She was 0 for 3. The fly out and the ground out and the strikeout yesterday.
I don't know what Coach Jarvis is talking to her about. One runner and quickly wants to chat with her team.
Yeah, probably more than anything, it was just to loosen him up. Maybe she sensed that it was just a little bit tight. I mean, nothing's going to phase Avery Sapp. I mean, you figure she's a 3-year starter. This is her. So the UHSA switched to this format in 2001 of a 2-game championship series. And Spanish Fork has played in that all 3 years. And so this is Avery Sapp's 6th game pitching in the state championship series.
Wow.
I mean, nothing should phase her at this point. And we saw it yesterday. Runners on, 5 in scoring position, 5 of 7 innings. It's fine. We'll get it out. That's her mentality for sure.
Foul ball. Couldn't quite catch it. You have to get it before it goes foul.
Yeah, not quite. She hurried. She was racing for it.
Archuleta was right there.
Yeah. See Butch Laddie's going, okay, sacrifice her over if possible. No.
Off with the pop-up there, infield pop-up.
Yeah, it looked like it came off the handles a little bit there. Just not much pop on that to get over third base.
That's the pitcher putting it inside and making them have to either chase or swing it what they can.
Yeah. Frankie Galena stepping in, and similar that we talked about earlier, she was 1 for 2 yesterday, and she had the other extra base hit over the center fielder's head. And you look where the center fielder is positioned today, and it's about 10 feet further back than she was yesterday.
Yeah, Galena was the one that actually got in scoring position on third. She got to third and trying to come in, and they couldn't do it.
But you can see just a little bit of those, adjustments that coaches are making, defensive positioning. I'm sure there's a lot going on with pitches thrown, details that we don't know about, but, the coaches are sending in those signals. The rise ball was working great for Avery Sapp yesterday, 12 strikeouts. In fact, she has 100, and she actually doesn't have one yet today, but she comes in 193 on the season.
Almost a changeup?
Yeah, looked like a little bit, yeah.
Kind of threw her off a little bit, didn't it?
And Avery Sapp, looking at the box score from yesterday, she got stronger as that game went on. A lot of her strikeouts were in the, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th inning.
How many strikeouts did she have?
She finished with 12.
12.
And the first time through, she struck out 3 of the 9 hitters. But just added up as it went. I've always felt like she's the type of pitcher that she gets stronger as the game goes on.
So full count here with 1 out. And Galena will take her base. And now we've got 2 on with only 1 out. Both Miller and Galena on base. And here comes Claire Yates, second baseman for the Redhawks.
And similar to yesterday, a runner in scoring position. Happened 5 of the 7 innings yesterday. And they never got the hit to bring anyone in.
Didn't even seem close. That's why
I know,
when you say 5 of 7, that kind of
it was subtle. It was subtle.
Oh.
Sometimes it was a stolen base that got a runner to second with 2 out. In the 7th inning, remember, they got the single and then stole second base. So they just little things. It was never like they were stringing hits together and the threat of a big inning, but they always had a spot where like, hey, if this
possible chance.
Yep. And here we are again. Little coaches, not coaches, little pitcher-catcher conference. Probably get their signals squared away. What's our wind doing here?
Ooh, inside.
Claire Yates up. She was 0 for 3 yesterday. 2 strikeouts.
I think that one came in high.
Yeah. this is where Peyton Hall a slapper up a little bit, but she's got to stay a little bit back with the runner at second. Try and get the lead runner if that happens.
And that one's going to be a pop-up to the shortstop. And so that'll be out number 2. And then here comes Miley Burns.
Just felt like that sounded a little bit on the handles again there on that little pop-up. Both outs this inning. Looks like she jammed him a little bit with the rise ball.
Yeah. Sapp's not giving him anything. Just enough to call it a strike.
Yeah.
So they got to swing.
I mean, we're here in the second inning. You got 2 on, 2 out. You think, Bountiful's threatening. It's really just self-inflicted wounds by Avery Sapp. They're both walks, and 2 pop-ups.
Swing and a miss there. So 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Miley Burns, the number 9 hitter here, stepping in. She was 0 for 2 yesterday with a walk and 2 strikeouts.
One ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 count here against Burns. And Burns knocks this one right to the center fielder, and that'll be out number 3. And retire the Redhawk runners.
Nice contact for Miley after 2 strikeouts yesterday. That was probably her most productive at bat.
Well, and
just got under a little bit.
Had that center fielder been where she was yesterday, it might have gone over.
Yeah, definitely different positioning out there for her.
Some adjustments there by Coach Jarvis, and
well, Bountiful's. I mean, they've had a runner on both innings. Yet here we are. They're 9 innings scoreless against Avery Sapp because she just finds a way. But, no strikeouts so far. She went through all 9 hitters and no strikeouts. And that's maybe an adjustment in the box by the Bountiful hitters after the 3 of them struck out the first time around yesterday.
So both pitchers here pitching zeros in the first inning. And Sapp able to continue that into the second inning. We'll see what Stoddard can do.
Yeah. Due up for Spanish Fork, Ellie Olson, Emery Pinter, and Leah Higginson. They were combined 0 for 8 yesterday. So this is the part of the lineup that we talked about that Eva Stoddard took care of yesterday. Minimized the damage. Actually, no damage. There was 1 walk. That was it. Left fielder Ellie Olson steps in first.
Eva's first pitch off the bat there, bunt, goes foul. A little bit of breeze out there.
It's blowing out. It's blowing out.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some home runs here. We had one in the 6A championship game. A grand slam, in fact.
That was.
Has there ever been a more insignificant grand slam in a state championship game?
Right. I don't know.
The game was,
I think it was still over, but yet made it a little more. It gave a little excitement to the game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. For Kiara Smith, that was the last at bat of her high school career. You hit a grand slam.
She hit a grand slam.
Of course, you're disappointed. You didn't quite pitch how you wanted to, and you lost the championship. But, you hit a grand slam in Gail Miller Field, the BYU state championship game. There's not a lot of people. In fact, no one can say that. No one did it last year. No, there were no grand slams last year.
Yeah.
Here.
At last at bat in high school, I hit a grand slam, Oh, she's going to hit her, and she'll take her base, and so.
Number 10, Leah
comes Leah Higginson.
Yeah, we talked yesterday.
Higginson, a freshman, right?
Yeah, she's the freshman center fielder. We talked yesterday, or just played out. Eva Stoddard, there were no 1, 2, 3 innings for her the entire game yesterday. There was always a base runner she had to deal with at some point. And even Avery Sapp, I think, only had a couple. I think it was 1, 2, 3 inning. So they've almost always been pitching with someone on base.
Gives them good mental toughness. You need that.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like there's too many people, younger generation, that suffer from anxiety. Maybe we should put you on a pitching mound with runners on.
Yeah.
Now how much anxiety do you have?
And I mean, I don't know how many people are here. Let's say 27,000. Should we just round up 27,000?
Yeah, just round
I mean,
up.
the atmosphere is great. But really, it's a good crowd today. Not 27,000, but it's a good crowd.
I feel like it's a good life skill that is learned on that pitcher's mound. And I talk about life skills just because I feel like that's what sports in high school are good for. That's why we continue to support these programs.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely makes a big difference. Pass ball there puts the runner at second. In fact, I had a little email exchange with Ava Stoddard's dad this week, and he talked about his oldest daughter, the one I think graduated in 2013. I forget her name. I'll have to look it up. But she's now a labor and delivery nurse, you know, and you wonder how much of the lessons of just kind of going through, you know, the teamwork and the camaraderie and everything that goes on in high school softball and then college softball. She pitched at Snow College, and
it happens the same in the birthing.
Yep, totally
room, right?
successful career. And I'm sure if you were to ask her, there's little probably things in her daily life that, oh yeah, I remember this.
A life lesson learned
absolutely.
on the mound or
Absolutely.
on the diamond.
Well, here we are, runners at first and second, just like the first inning for Bountiful. But now we have the leadoff. Nope, wrong scorecard. Flipped over. Melissa Turpin's up, shortstop. She singled her first time up.
Yep, I got you.
Wait. Now you're throwing me off.
Oh, yeah, I was on the wrong one. Jade Romero.
Yeah.
My spreadsheet, I flipped. I thought I flipped, and I didn't.
You know what?
Jade Romero's
It
up.
happens
Yeah.
to all of us. Oh, that one comes in high. So it'll be ball two.
It's funny because, you know, I do notes like this all the time and but I never have to talk at the same time. This is new. It's a little different. So
Hey,
it
you've
threw
been
off my
phenomenal.
game. I need some mental work as well.
Well, you've made it fun. Is this one going to pop up just over the net
There, almost a barehanded snag there, down on the fifth row.
by the fan? Yeah.
Jade Romero reached on an error in her first at-bat.
She's got 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners at first and second, and here is Eva Stoddard's. Oh, that one will be an easy catch.
Nope.
Will it?
Nope.
No, it will not. Yes.
Oh, what a play by
Tonga on by. Holy cow. Collides with the first baseman.
I want to see the replay of that one. I saw it live, and now I want to see the replay. That was obviously a little lack of communication there, or they were both screaming so loud they couldn't hear the other.
But the concentration by Tonga Onavai.
To still catch it after the collision and then to dive forward and catch it.
She didn't make the initial hit with
No.
the ball. First baseman kind of, and then they collide. The ball falls, and she gets the catch for out number 2. And so runners still at first and second.
We've had 2 collisions trying to catch balls already, just 2 innings in. Out in left field, we had one. And now they're just off to the side of the plate.
And so here's Tatum Hall.
Sacrificed a runner over in her first at-bat in the first inning. Still looking for her first hit of this championship series.
Ball. 1 ball, 1 strike for Hall. You know, all afternoon I can just, we've got this window open up top here, and the breeze is coming in, and it smells like baseball. Popcorn.
Yeah, there's popcorn in the air.
You can smell the food.
You smell any cougar tails?
Yeah, I can actually. I'll smell some bakery, and then I can see them, and I'm just like, man, that's. In fact, there's a young girl down here. She just ripped hers in half and said, "Here, have half of mine." I ate almost all of it, and oh, now she's sticking it together, and
there you go.
I think she's like, "No, I'll take all of it." Well, no, I still want some.
Mouth water.
And she strikes her out.
Eva Stoddard's strikeout celebrations to end an inning are outstanding.
They're fun.
And every time they're the same one.
They're fun. They're very animated, and she strikes her out. That ends inning number 2. We're zeros. We're back after this quick break.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Hey, we're back. Starting inning 3 here in the 5A state championship. As Spanish Fork will be in the outfield.
Flipping my scorecard to the right page so we get the right batter. J.C. Alvey leading off here. Leadoff hitter. Back at the top of the order for Bountiful.
Swing and a miss. That one bouncing off the. Did that one catch the umpire's helmet?
I think it caught them both. We know it caught the catcher. I think it then glanced off the ump, too.
Yeah, that's why he
knocked his glasses off, maybe?
I don't know. I saw him. I mean, he immediately kind of took off his helmet, but now he's putting his glasses over there. Yeah.
Maybe sunglasses. Oh, man. Here we go. I can just hear the heckling from the crowd now. Put your glasses back on. Giving him ammunition.
Saps pitch right across the plate.
That catch the corner? I did not see a signal.
It must have come in low.
Yeah, it must have been inside or low. It's 1-1. So J.C. Alvey, she ground out to third base to lead off the first inning.
Swing. Gives us a 1-2 count here.
I feel like the wind was blowing in yesterday, and now we got a little wind blowing out to left field. It's a deeper outfield. It's hard to hit home runs here, even if the wind's blowing out.
Coming from the east, yeah.
But Peyton Hall, those type of right-handed batters will come up, have a little wind blow out. Maybe we'll.
Well, in the 6A championship with Avery Smith, it was the first pitch. First pitch, and she smacked that thing. As there's out number 1 here, just in the third inning. But yeah, it was the first pitch that she took. as she went up to bat. Knocked it over.
Yeah, there were a few deep balls hit that at Cottonwood Complex would have been home runs. Shelby Jones had one. I think another Bingham player had one. Oh.
And what a collision. Did she get there? She's safe.
And Peyton Hall still almost made the play. Came off Avery Sapp's glove at first. Then Jade Romero and Peyton Hall both trying to scramble and pick it up. And Peyton Hall leveled Jade Romero there to grab that ball. And she still almost got the play at first.
So was it Peyton that threw that?
Yeah, it was Peyton that threw it.
She ran Jade over?
She did. Excuse me. My ball. Thank you very much. Boom. And that was just a little. That was as soft a hit ground ball back to the pitcher as you're going to have. It just pulled Avery Sapp just off enough that she couldn't field it cleanly, and now you got a runner on.
So 1 out. Ball 2 here for Stoddard.
So I believe they gave that one this official score gave that a single by Melissa Turpin, so she is 2 for 2 today.
And there goes Turpin. She's going to try and steal, and she gets tagged out. So that is 2 away. She wasn't.
It looked like Ava Stoddard, after that caught stealing, looked down at Coach Laddie down third baseline, and I almost got a sense that there was a mix-up of signals somewhere.
Like they were confused.
That it was a hit and run. Someone thought it was a hit and run, and the other one didn't.
So there's out number 3, and Spanish Fork's turn, as it has been fairly uneventful in the batting arena in this game so far.
2 hits for Bountiful, both by Melissa Turpin. So far, Spanish Fork doesn't have a hit, and yeah, you're just wondering a little bit there if it was a mix-up in signals. It was the body language suggested it, that someone mixed up. Because I believe it was earlier in the game. Excuse me, yesterday. There was a hit and run. I think it was even Ava Stoddard, similar situation, that moved a runner.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Stoddard swung on that thing,
but
trying to throw him off just enough.
Yeah. And if you're Coach Laddie, you've had runner in scoring position. I mean, a lot. You had it 5 innings yesterday. You've already had it today, but you haven't had that hit. So he's trying to be aggressive, and I think in his situation there, where he's trying to, put a hit and run on, try and get runners moving, trying to, create a little confusion. But if the signals get mixed, then you're just running yourself into a needless out, which maybe is what happened. There's no way to know at this point. And now we come back to Spanish Fork, and 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up. Peyton Hall grounded out to third her first time up. She's still looking for her first hit of the championship series, but she has walked twice yesterday. So she's been on base, and she scored the only run yesterday. That was her run.
That was Hall.
Yep.
Ball.
This game is, well, it really is identical to yesterday.
So
no
far.
No runs through 2.5. Yesterday we had no runs through 2.5. This is the spot inning right here where Spanish Fork scored their only run yesterday.
Change up there and gets the strike.
And it was by Peyton Hall.
Peyton Hall.
Who led off the third inning with a walk. I mean, she walks here, there's a little Twilight Zone stuff going on here.
Other than it's not dark.
Yeah, not dark.
It's not getting dark.
Well, we got some, gray clouds and nothing that looks threatening, but.
So a 2-1 count here for Peyton Hall. And here comes the 2-1 pitch. And she is going to swing on this one, popping this up. We'll see if there's communication. Second baseman there to make the catch. And so no deja vu.
No deja vu. Nice catch there by Claire Yates, second baseman. That was hit very high. And with a little wind, nothing is routine when there's wind up there. Now Avery Sapp stepping in.
Boy, I've seen windy days when the wind just carries that ball and throws the. I mean, I don't think I could catch it without wind. And
first pitch single for Avery Sapp right up the middle there. She's fired up. You see that? Yelling into the dugout.
Was
trying
she?
To, oh, yeah.
Back to her dugout?
Her dugout, yeah. Not Bountiful. That would be lay down the trash talk at epic style. No, I was yelling at her own dugout. And, she's like, let's get going. Come on. I mean, Spanish Fork is used to having 5, 6, 7 runs on the board already.
Yeah. None of this. Zeros.
Yeah, they're fired up. Avery Sapp giving high five to everyone in that dugout. And she gets the courtesy runner.
So Shepard, the substitution runner there for Sapp, and it's Archuleta up to bat.
Archuleta's been on base every time, but every single time.
Every time?
Yeah.
Whether it's a walk or a hit, huh?
Yeah, she was 2 for 2 yesterday with a walk, and she's walked in her first at-bat in the first inning. There becomes a little bit of that mental chess match of what pitches to call if you're Bountiful.
Ball 2. 2-1 count here on Archuleta. Ball 3.
They're trying to avoid. I mean, obviously you don't want to just throw meatballs up there, but.
Right. But yeah, she is trying to. There's Archuleta's hit, and it's going to fall to the center fielder. Makes the grab.
First time not on base for Archuleta.
So that's out number 2. I wondered how far that would carry.
Yeah, with the wind blowing out of it, just not too far.
And so it is Paige Pierce. Paige Pierce with Shepard at first, and here's Stoddard's pitch. And immediately, foul ball.
Into the empty seat.
It scared her, though. The spectator behind the seat. I realize I'm hungry when that popcorn smells so good that I'm just like...
so good. So good.
Oh, it's a change-up.
Froze are good.
Strike 2.
Yeah, Paige Pierce. 0 for 3 today, 0 for 3 yesterday and 0 for 1 today, so still looking for her first hit of the 5A Championship Series.
So now a 1-2 count. 2 outs. Stoddard looking to go ahead and get out of this third inning. That one going to go over the center fielder. Center fielder's able to make the play.
What
a play there by Miley Burns. Saves the day.
That is a home run at Cottonwood Complex. That's a no-doubter home run at Cottonwood Complex. She crushed it, but bigger outfield, it is just an F8 in the scorebook. A routine flyout. Not routine, but that's all you'll see in the scorebook is a flyout to center.
Miley Burns to get there saves the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we keep zeros here on the board. We're back after this quick break.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Yeah, we're ready to start the fourth inning here at the 5A State Championship softball game here between Bountiful and Spanish Fork. Mark Winterton joining me is James Edward, and this is just a pitcher's duel. This whole series,
we've had one run in 10 innings. If you had told me that before the series, I'd have been mumbling all kinds of things under my breath at your lack of knowledge of softball, yada, yada, yada. Oh, it drops in.
Wow. Infield error, and
that's a base hit. I don't think Athena could have gone and placed that ball any better if she hadn't just walked out and dropped it. It was over Avery Sapp's head and short and in between Tatum Hall and Jade Romero.
But then no one can pick it up because there were three of them there.
Yep.
That kind of.
It just was. It was almost like the base hit that scored Spanish Fork's only run yesterday. It wasn't hit hard. It was just where it needed to be, and now she's on base.
Well, perfectly placed hit there for Tonga Onavai. And they will bring in a substitute runner.
Speed up runner for her.
Yeah, it's Trump. Olivia Trump. And Ella Miller with a 1-1 count now.
Yeah, leadoff runner on for Bountiful. They got that in the second inning on a walk to Ella Miller, who's now up. Number 5 hitter, Ella Miller. She's batting .406. Top on the team with 35 RBIs.
Well, they could really use one right now.
I like this ump. He lets you know where it was when it's close like that. He signals and lets you know if it's inside or outside.
3 balls, no strikes. That one possibly low.
Yeah.
And
tried to get her on the change, and she didn't bite.
So now 2 runners on, no outs. And here comes Bo Hoff.
Right fielder. 0 for 3 yesterday. Popped up to third on one of those jam shots in the second inning. See what she can do here. Oh, and she takes it.
Shows bunt.
In the gut.
They want to say that she went out.
Yeah, Janet Jarvis saying the same thing. She's wondering if she squared away, and that should just be a strike, even though it hit her. But the ump shaking his head. I don't think
he's staying with his call.
Without seeing the replay, it's tough to know. It looked like No. Now we're going to get a little ump conference here.
Well, and I think that's always a good thing when you've got a controversial call like that. Talk with your, I guess, other umpire help and see what they have to say at least. Because if you can then go back to the coach and say, yeah, they both saw the same thing I did, we're going to stick with that call. Oh.
Well,
he is bringing her back.
Yeah,
see? So always good to converse with your other help. If you've got if you've got other umpires in there, you might as well get there.
Yeah, and Coach Laddie talking to third base ump just to get an explanation. There was no animated anger that it was the wrong call. So if it is indeed a strike, is what they're showing, is if she swings and then it hits her, it's just a strike.
Right.
And that's what they've determined. So it's just a 0-1 count now.
Well, she came up with the bunt, right? Didn't pull it back, and the ball hits her instead of hitting the bat.
Got her good.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with the call.
Yeah.
So now 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs. And runners back at second and first. Here comes Sapp's pitch. That one, the strike. So 1-2 count now here against Hoff. And now she gets struck out.
Caught looking. That's Avery Sapp's first strikeout of the game, which is hard to believe, actually, considering she had 12 yesterday.
Yeah,
but that was a big one to keep the runners at first and second.
Here in the 4th inning, here comes Galena. Swing and a miss. But a pass pitch allows the runners to advance. Oh, they're saying Galena must have caught it with the bat.
Yeah. Everything seemed to happen in slow motion. Even the runner going from second to third was not going fast. Like, she's like, wait, it was a foul. Why are you yelling, where'd it go?
They're all hesitating like, wait.
Okay. Right down the middle there.
Strike 2 on Galena.
Galena walked in the second inning, but now she faces an 0-2 hole here.
Well, Bountiful at this point, they've got to get their head back into that game because they've had a couple of here they thought maybe were breaks, right?
Ooh.
They loaded the bases. Yeah. Oh, now we got to go back. Oh, we advanced. Oh, we got to go back.
Yeah. Just inside there.
It's
a tough
kind of a
to lay off.
It's like a false sense of momentum.
You know that one was foul. Frankie Galena, 270 hitter, 12 RBIs on the year. RBI 13 here would be huge if she could put the ball in play.
Staying alive.
Yeah.
Changeup strikes her out. That's out number 2. Of course, that's your 2021 Gatorade Player of the Year. Runner-up in 22, and of course, she's been the MVP as a sophomore and a junior.
Yeah. Strikeout number 2. Definitely fired up after that one. Even the catcher was fired up after that strikeout. Now stepping in, Claire Yates. 0 for 1 today, 0 for 1 in the series, or 0 for 4 in the series.
swing and a miss.
Big cut there.
Claire Yates looked like she wanted it. Wanted all of it. 2 outs. 1 ball, 1 strike for Yates. And she'll swing. Second baseman's going to pick up that 3rd out, and they will retire Bountiful.
Oh, nice play, Tatum Hall.
Kind of a couple of scares there for Spanish Fork, but you worked through them.
Yeah, we did. So I mentioned
no runs.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier how Ava Stoddard's, her 2 older sisters played, and I couldn't remember their names. I couldn't remember them at all, but I looked it up, so we got,
Okay.
So her middle sister, she had her senior year, COVID ruined it. But her junior year, she was a first-team All-Stater for the Deseret News. Sophia Stoddard, she was a catcher.
Okay.
So she had a great year that year. Her junior year, batted 437. And then her older sister, Bella Stoddard, she graduated in 2013. She was a first-team All-Stater as well. So, and I believe Ava was a first-team All-Stater last year too. Eva, yes, there we go. So they've all the sisters have been a first-team All-Stater, but no state championships. Bountiful still looking for their school's first ever state championship. They've been competitive. They've been in finals, but and here we are again. They're competitive. They're in the finals.
Yeah. It is tough, and I have to point this out. They only had, and I mentioned this yesterday, 15 girls that actually tried out for softball. Of course, all 15 making it. So it's tough when you don't have that big group to choose from. Mm-hmm. But still, here they are in the state championship.
They've got the ace, and that's what you need.
And so here comes Stoddard's pitch. That's going to be outside, ball 1 against Olson. Ellie Olson. Ellie's the one senior on this Spanish Fork team that actually hasn't committed yet.
Yeah, she grounded out the pitcher her first time up. In fact, before the start of this game, we had graduation ceremony for Bountiful's 2 seniors. And on Tuesday or Wednesday, I can't remember what day, Spanish Fork, they had their graduation ceremony for their seniors up at Cottonwood Complex before their game.
This one right to second base, and they'll get that quick out there. So Olson out at first, and 1 away. Here in the bottom of the 4th, no runs scored. Stoddard and Sapp continue to dominate the pitcher's mound here.
Just 4 hits today between both teams. Emery Pinter steps up. She reached in the 2nd inning on a hit batter.
Swing and a miss.
This game feels so different than the 6A game before it. The feel of that was balls were flying all over. Bingham was hitting the ball very well.
And then Avery Smith smacked that home run that was insignificant, but
Kiara Smith.
Kiara Smith.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Avery.
Oh,
there's a few Avery, Sapp, Kiara Smith. You're actually merging the starting pitcher of Harriman and Spanish Fork.
I just combined it all. Kiara Smith smacked that grand slam. That game was pretty much over there in the bottom of the 7th, but still, it gave him hope.
Yeah.
I'm going to come in high for ball 1 here against Higginson. Leah Higginson, the freshman for the Dons. But already 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th for Bountiful.
Yeah, number 9 hitter, Leah Higginson. She did reach in the 2nd inning on a walk. Got 2 walks in the series, 0 for 2.
Swing swing and a miss. That's 2-1 count here against Higginson.
Ava Stoddard said for the game, I was spinning it great yesterday. I think we can draw the conclusion that she's spinning it great again today. Maybe even better, honestly. Less hits from Spanish Fork through this point.
Spanish Fork's got 1 hit.
Yeah,
and this is after you start just spewing out these crazy statistics by these Spanish Fork hitters. And you're like, man, this is going to be a hitting game, isn't it?
Yeah, well.
And then what happens? Stoddard.
She's just doing her thing. She had that bases loaded jam in the first after a couple walks in an air, but.
And she'll strike her out.
There's that end of inning strikeout celebration. She's done that twice today. I think she did it 4 times yesterday. Like when there's 2 outs and there's a 3rd out in sight, man, she finds
She's going to spin that ball.
Yeah.
Hey, we're back after this quick break.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Well, it's a bunch of zeros on the board as we start the 5th inning here between Spanish Fork and Bountiful. I'm Mark Winterton. James Edward is you joining us.
Yeah, game 2 of this 5A championship game is playing, or championship series is playing out pretty much similar to game 1. Pitchers duel, low scoring.
We've got 1 score in 11 innings. 1 run in 11 innings.
Yeah. Little fielder's choice grounder to first yesterday.
I mean, as much as I love to see some good pitching, there is not a whole lot of hitting going on today.
No.
Or at least between these 2 teams. The complete opposite of what happened in the Bingham-Harriman game earlier. Today.
Miley Burns, the number 9 hitter up for Bountiful. She had that deep fly ball in the 2nd inning. Made good contact. She's 0 for 3 on the series. Does have a walk, though.
Two balls, 2 strikes here against Burns. Avery Sapp. Ooh.
Yeah,
strikes her out. Utah Valley University commit gets another strikeout.
Yeah, 3rd strikeout. I believe that's 196 on the season. Now back to the top of the order, J.C. Alvey. She is 0 for 2. Ground out and a pop out.
Oh. Swing and a miss.
That changed.
Is that what it would
yeah,
change?
She was expecting rise ball there for sure, and she was committed to the rise ball. The rise ball did not come.
Oh, and then she goes for a slap, and now we got a 0-2 count here against Alvey.
Yeah, moved to the number 1 spot in the lineup after batting 2nd yesterday. She had productive at-bats yesterday, and coach is hoping
this time she'll stay alive by fouling that one off.
So Bountiful's put the leadoff runner on in 2 of the 4 innings and got that runner to scoring position each of those innings, but nothing to show for it. So
and there's a hit, and it stays fair.
Oh,
and the left fielder loses control of the ball, and she's going to go to third. Sliding in, and she is in scoring position. Bountiful gets the third, one out here. Is there one out?
There is one out. Miley struck out.
That's right.
In fact, the play there from the left fielder there, you pull it up, Ellie Olsen. First, phenomenal to keep that ball in play so it doesn't go all the way down in the corner. But then she dropped it and it still went down in the corner. But in the 4A championship series here last week, we had an inside the park home run on a ball hit very similar to that. Went all the way down in the corner and she came all the way around to score.
Really?
So that was my first thought when that was first hit, that if Ellie Olsen doesn't get there, it could be an inside the parker. But now, I mean, triple, you're runner at third, one out.
Melissa Turpin with a 1 ball, 1 strike now.
JC smashed that ball down the line, opposite field.
Oh, it was perfect placement,
That's why they call it the hot corner. Peyton Hall. She couldn't get her glove up fast enough. That's how hard it was hit.
And this one down the middle, and
run.
They will score. Bountiful scores.
An RBI single for Melissa Turpin. She is 3 for 3 today. 3 singles. One was a little infielder, but that, no doubt on that one. Straight up the middle, drives in JC Alvey. We have our first run of the game, and Bountiful's first run in the 5A State Championship Series in inning number 5 of Game 2.
And right past the third baseman. And so Turpin will advance. That's
It's
Stoddard
Turpin.
advances Turpin to second.
Yeah. First pitch. Drives it right past Peyton Hall. 3 straight hits after that strikeout to start the inning.
Bit of a momentum change right there. Let's see if they can keep the bats hot.
Yeah, 6 hits for Bountiful. 3 of them in this inning. And Athena Tonganavai steps up, and she singled to lead off the 4th inning in her previous at-bat. And we saw in the 6A championship game, and you see it a lot in baseball or softball, momentum. You start to find a rhythm at the plate, and the next player, your teammate, next player up, they seem to go step into the batter's box with a little more confidence. And you saw it there with Stoddard's first pitch. After a trip on a single, she just attacked it, because sometimes that first pitch is the best pitch, especially after hit, because the pitcher wants to settle down.
Swinging early there.
Oh.
And now they're going to advance runners. And they're going to bring
score a
another
run.
one home. Bountiful will score again. And they're going to look to score a second one. Does she get there? She does.
Wow.
And so they've scored 2 more. Bountiful goes up 3-0 over Spanish Fort here in the 5th inning.
The throwing error there. And in a lot of high school parks, that's only 1 run comes in on that, but bigger field, turf, the ball's going to roll. Allowed the runner to come all the way. The runner who was stuck, who was going to get thrown out on a good throw at first, maybe getting a pickle. Instead, she comes around to score, and we're now 3-0. 4th error of the game for Spanish Fork. I'm a bit shocked at the developments here in this 5th inning.
This is all about keeping your head in the game.
Athena Tonganovai, the pitch right before this one, she had runners at 1st and 2nd. Now the bases are empty.
Yeah, they're clear.
Yep.
Clear. 2 balls, no strikes. Or 1 strike. 2 balls, 1 strike here. Strike.
Strike 2 there.
So 2-2 count now. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, hey, Squid's back, Nate. I'm having a report. The Squid hat is back. Yep. Over to 1.
Yep.
So we saw in the 6A championship game yesterday, and a little bit today, but not as much. Harriman had 6 errors. Yesterday they lost 3-0. Today, Spanish Fork has 4 errors. They're trailing 3-0. I mean, in these type of situations in a pitcher's duel, it's the fielding and defense needs to be clean, because the slightest of mistake sometimes is the difference. And that's going to be the runner is safe. Jade Romero tried to dive and catch the ball before it hit. She still had great presence of mind to pop up and make the throw, but her throw was in the dirt, and first baseman couldn't quite scoop it. I give that. Yeah, it's giving it a base hit. That would be a tough one to give an error on, even though if you're Jade Romero, in your mind, you should have made the play, because a good throw gets her, but
that's a tough throw.
That's a very tough throw, especially when you're popping up after diving in to try and get it. So
I think that's what they did, is gave her a base hit.
That's a base hit, and that's Athena Tonganovai. She's 2 for 3 now, back-to-back singles, and as a team, Bountiful. Bountiful in this inning, they're 1, 2, 3, 4 hitters in the lineup. All have reached base on base hits, starting with that triple by J.C. Alvey and then 3 straight singles.
Well, Coach Jarvis having talked with her infield here.
We don't know what she's saying, but she's saying it.
She's saying it very animated.
Very animated.
You're good where you're at right now.
I'm sure
Arms are
knowing
moving
her, it's a positive message, but one of clean it up.
Sternness.
Yeah. Let's make the plays.
Well, this has turned into a different game now all of a sudden. After nothing,
No runs.
Bountiful puts 3 on the board here in the 5th.
And in their mind, they don't feel done. They're like, hey, we 1 out. We just have a runner at first. Ella Miller stepping in, and she's walked both of her at-bats today. Oh, we got time from the ump coming down the first base line.
All right, over to camera 2.
Not sure what that discussion was.
It seemed important, though. Could be
Hopper.
2 here. Oh,
And another error. And she's going to run to third.
she ran herself out.
And she's
into an
out.
So the error is not punished at all by trying to take the extra base to third. Ooh, 5th error for Spanish Fork, though. When they say hitting momentum can be contagious, I think defensive mistakes can be a little bit.
Oh, and this one just goes over the top of Hall's head and advances the runner to second.
We'd have bases loaded
Yeah,
if
we would.
hadn't run into that out.
Yeah.
But still, they have runners at first and second, only 2 out. There's Bo Hoff's First hit of the series. She's now 1 for 6. That had to feel good for her to get on base.
Oh, that was a good hit, too, right over Hall's head at third. As here's Galena. And Galena going to do the same thing, but the shortstop's there to get out number 3. And they will finally end that inning as Bountiful puts 3 on the board, and they go up 3-0 here.
Yeah, 3 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors, including that really costly throwing error that allowed 2 runs to score. They may have come in to score any with the base hits that they strung together after that, but Spanish Fork now trailing for the first time in this series.
Is this where Spanish all of a sudden comes out of nowhere and starts hitting like they have all year?
Well, sure they're hoping so. They got their 1, 2, 3 hitters coming up.
Still have
with
to
Jade Romero.
Still have to do it against Stoddard, though.
Yeah, but Stoddard, she had her first 1, 2, 3 inning of the series in the 4th inning. She's going to step in here to the circle in the 5th with probably as much confidence as she's had maybe all year. I mean, you're shutting out Spanish Fork in the championship game. You're leading. In her mind, knowing the competitor she is and the competitive family she comes from with all her, older sister playing, she's going, okay, we're 9 outs. I need 9 outs. Give me 9 outs and give me game 3. That's got to be her mindset.
I'll tell you what, all the pitchers that we've seen here in 5A, 6A, they've all committed to colleges here in Utah, except for Eva Stoddard. I think Utah let one get out of the state.
Yeah. Southern Idaho?
Yeah, should have kept her home. College of Southern Idaho is getting a gem.
Jade Romero tried to sneak a bunt in there and get on base, and if that stays fair, she probably does, because it's a foot race to second between her and the second baseman, and I think she'd have got there. Still up on that one. Jade had a great game 1, 2 for 3. Today she's 0 for 2, but she did reach on an error in the first inning.
So 2 balls, 1 strike.
Back to 1.
Out the corner. There is an increased energy / tension level, I feel like, in the stadium right now. Spanish Fork feeling that tension. The fans, they're in an unusual position here.
Trying to get a 3-peat, and ooh.
It just feels like right now, knowing what Spanish Fork's bats are capable of, this is a huge inning. 1, 2, 3 hitters up.
Two balls, 2 strikes for Romero.
I'm
Not sure what.
Talk with the Spanish Fork dugout. No, just trying to get another ball.
That's all it was. Oh, in the dirt. That'll give us a full count here for Romero. No outs, and the full count pitch. Right to the shortstop, off her glove, and Romero will make it to first base.
Second time she's reached on a air at the shortstop position today. Hard hit ball. It's going to be a tough throw even if she gets it. It was hit hard enough that she probably can make it. But our 7th error of the game. I don't remember that many errors yesterday. have a gander at the box score.
Errors yesterday?
I think we only had 1 or 2 in that 1-0 game. No errors, in fact.
No errors?
No errors yesterday for Bountiful and Spanish Fork, either of them.
Really?
Yeah.
And we've got 5 by Spanish and 2 by Bountiful today. There goes Romero, was on her way.
Probably a good hit and run was put on there by Coach Jarvis. And they need to be aggressive now. I mean, you have a hard time hitting Stoddard this series. Now's the time to try and manufacture some stuff if you can.
Check on 4. Now 3.
Tatum Hall still looking for her first hit this series. She did have a sacrifice in the first inning.
Oh, a strike.
Out the corner. She did strike out in her second at-bat in the second inning.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Coach Jarvis wants to talk to Hall.
Let's go to 2.
Pitcher and catcher will make a
Bill, can you get the
quick meeting.
Jarvis just wanted to... I have a feeling that was a very positive discussion with Tatum Hall. She knows that she's not quite in her groove at the plate, but she's so capable of changing a game with one swing.
Outside, ball 2.
Staying on 1. Score.
Swing and a miss, striker out.
And Jade Romero took the bag. But you know what? If you're Bountiful, of course you don't want to just give a free bag, but you'll trade an out for a base runner there.
Yeah, it puts Romero in scoring position. Yeah. And here comes Peyton Hall.
She's 0 for 2 and 0 for 3 in these 2 games here at BYU. She does have the 2 walks, though, from yesterday.
And I noticed Tonga Onobai, she was waving over the right fielder.
Really?
Yeah. She waved over the right fielder. The right fielder come over a little bit and then kind of stepped back like, what are you talking about? I know my stuff, she says.
Well, it's probably, she knew it was going to be an outside. They were calling for an outside pitch there, so.
So she's going to come through a little bit late and hit it to the right fielder. So
she's positioned that way again.
And there it is, foul ball over to the right. That's out of the stadium.
Back to 1.
So
and in softball, the mark of a good hitter is just wherever that pitch comes, you take it there. It's a lot harder to do in baseball, but in softball, I mean, if it's inside, pull it. Outside, go the opposite field. Peyton's definitely that type of hitter.
And she's a swing again, another foul ball. Yeah, all of them going that right side.
0-2 count. And now is a hit. I mean, if you're Peyton Hall, right, protect a little bit. I mean, she's a home run hitter. Of course, you want to swing for the fences, but here you need base runners.
You've got to get on base to score. And there it is, right field, and it is going to hit the fence. Romero's going to come in, and so Spanish will score, and Hall gets to second.
Fired up there, screaming at the dugout. She hit that off the fence.
Here comes Avery Sapp.
Yeah. That home run fence is 210, and she hit that 205. All 3 swings were going that direction in that at-bat, and on the 4th one, she made contact. Got her first hit of the series, an RBI double.
Well, I was wondering if it might go over. Yeah, I didn't think so. And so then when it hit the fence, I was like, yeah, that's about where I was seeing it. But
well, Bountiful scored 2 runs the previous inning on a throwing error, and Jade Romero was on base because of an error to lead off that inning. So the errors are proving costly lately.
So now Hall in scoring position at second, and Sapp with an 0-1 count, one away here in the 5th inning. And Sapp will swing, foul ball. And she's got 0-2 count now.
The ump is out of balls, he just signaled. Between those 3 Sapp foul balls, or excuse me, the Peyton Halls and that one. Where are all the balls?
Come on, let's bring some.
I think 1 or 2 of those Peyton Hall ones, they went outside of the stadium.
I know one of them went out.
Yeah. Normally kids are clamoring to go chase those down.
Yeah, the kids run them down for us. Well, Stoddard's got 1 ball, and I don't think the ump has any. So if this one goes foul, they'll have to chase it down. 0-2 count here on Sapp. And she'll stay alive. You could hear that one. Just clipped it.
Sapp has been on base both times today. She walked in the 1st and singled in the 3rd inning.
Finally, yep, you guys guessed it, Cameron.
Well, and Peyton Hall's going to take 3rd on that. Popped away from the catcher.
And so now Hall in scoring, well, really scoring position here at 3rd.
Yeah, especially with 1 out. So now so many ways that she can come home. Even a ground out to 2nd, 1st, fly ball.
Jordan, can you get the batter?
Sapp, foul ball. Sapp's got how many home runs on the year?
I think it's 11.
Okay, so Bill's on. Bill, can you get 3rd base?
Yeah, she has 11.
Get that runner. Nate has ball, and Jordan has batter.
Which is why she's in the 4th spot.
Staying on 1.
Inside.
Ooh. Must have been down low.
Two balls, 2 strikes here against Sapp with 1 out, and Hall at 4, or at, I don't even know what I'm saying, 3rd base.
Oh.
And another foul ball.
It hit Archuleta.
Did it hit?
She actually looked like she got her hand up before it hit her face mask. So she was protected with the face mask either way, but usually you don't expect that in that on-deck circle when there's a right-handed hitter up.
You know.
How do you hit the ball behind you?
And this one right at the shortstop, but she bobbles it and drives in Hall.
Yeah, a run scores. Peyton Hall from 3rd, and again, that pass, that probably a wild pitch that allowed Peyton Hall to get to 3rd, able to take advantage of the ground ball to short.
Bats have come alive here in the 5th inning, James.
Well, 2 errors has definitely helped. I mean, both of those balls hit to short. They were hard hit, and they were going to be hard plays to throw her out at first. But plays that I'm sure she's capable of making. She's made them all year, and she would expect to make, but didn't make either of them. And now your 3-0 lead is only 3-2, and you still only have 1 out and a runner on.
And someone's barbecuing burgers. We're talking food, and it's been a long day now here at the park.
When was the first game? 11?
Yeah.
5 hours? Fun day, for sure. Spanish Fork fans are going, we just want to be here another hour. That's all we want. And Bountiful fans are like, yeah, we're happy to be here another 4. because they need a game 3. If Bountiful holds on here, it would tie the series 1-1, and then we would play a third game about 15 minutes after this game ends.
Yeah,
but
right into
Spanish
it.
Fork they have other ideas, and right now they're finding ways to get runs in to try and make that happen.
They're on a run of their own, right?
Yeah.
Only one out. Runner at first.
At least
Is that Shepard? Number 12? Is that number 12? Yeah.
it is number 12.
Yeah, that's Shelby Shepard. She comes in to run for Avery Sapp. Archuleta with a 3-0 count, and she'll take her base. And so now,
second walk of the game.
now 2 on with only 1 out. And so Bountiful was able to put 3 on the board. Spanish Fork, it's like it lit a fire under them, because we have not seen a whole lot of runs.
They still just have the 2 hits in the game. But Peyton Hall, that smash double off the wall was huge, and they took advantage of the first error, got that runner in.
You're going to put in a substitute runner here for Archuleta. This is Bailey Smith.
And Paige Pierce stepping in. She's flied out to left or right and center today. And still looking for her first hit.
Butch Leahy wants to have a little meeting with his infield crew.
Probably just like Natalie Jarvis did from Spanish Fork in that last half of the 5th inning, just trying to calm them down.
You've got
You got to
this.
think Butch is doing that too. Especially when they took the field, confidence level was through the roof. They had a lead, a 3-run lead.
They had the momentum.
But they haven't made the defensive plays to back it up, and the lead has shrunk to 3-2. 8 errors in this game after 0 combined errors yesterday.
Man. One out. Here's the pitch to Pierce, and Pierce connects with it, and
That
it looks like it is gone.
A 3-run home run for Paige Pierce, who was due. She was 0 for 5 in this series.
Yeah. And she smacked that one.
That was a no-doubter to dead center. That fence is 220.
What a home run there by Paige Pierce. Struggling through this series at 5 at-bats, and she puts that one over the wall.
Home run number 3 on the season for Paige Pierce, the senior.
We have had 10 innings with no runs scored. 0.
And we have 8.
And now we have 8. 8 in 1 inning.
Say what now?
8 runs, all coming in 1 inning, and Spanish Fork now back on top. You could tell they were a little nervous.
Yeah, I can see the rally caps have worked in the Spanish Fork dugout. You look down there, and their visors are all flipped upside down and backward. And 5 runs, and they may not be done. There's still just 1 out. Ellie Olson stepping in, and she's 0 for 5 this series, just like her teammate Paige Pierce was before her last at-bat.
Stoddard. It'll be 2-1 now. 2 balls, 1 strike here against Olson. Well, we've seen 2 home runs now in the 5A and the 6A today. 1 game each, or 1 home run each.
That was a moment for Paige Pierce.
But that was the home run that changed the game.
Yeah. In fact, she hit that just over our camera in center field.
Glad it didn't hit the camera.
Probably cleared it by, well, it cleared it for sure because she tagged that one, but wouldn't that be great video?
You know, she
costly
it.
video.
That was a lot further than the home run that was hit in the 6A championship game.
Yeah.
She crushed it.
Down to 2 outs. Emery Pinter stepping in.
Yeah, Stoddard settling down here. And there's a changeup, strike one.
Emery got on base. She got hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. But other than that, it's been an 0 for 4 series, 0 for 1 today. She'd like to keep this momentum going.
Foul ball.
It's a funny game, isn't it?
Very interesting. We're 0s through 4 innings. Bountiful comes out and puts 3 on the board. And, boy, the momentum switched. And you could, like you said, you could feel that tension from the Spanish Fork crowd, down 3-0. And then they come out and just bats away.
Yeah.
Right?
We saw that last night, too, in the baseball game behind us here while this game was going on.
With Lehigh and Viewmont.
Viewmont was up 2-0. Been a huge upset. And then Lehigh, I think it was bottom 4 or 5, they put up a 7 spot. Spanish Fork here, they put up a 5 spot in the bottom of the 5th.
And then I think, did Lehigh end up winning?
They did end up winning
8-2 or 8-3?
Yeah, I think it was. And they're playing later today in game 1 of the 5A championship series. Yeah, baseball, both championship series getting underway. Probably game 1 starting right now.
Lehigh and Timpanogos.
Yep. I believe 6A is first. But I could be 100% wrong. But one's at 4 and the others are 4:30
and then
at
who's
7.
Who's at 6A? Who's in 6A?
Skyridge and American Fork.
That's right. Boy,
ooh,
look at that. Look at that. All Utah County in the 4A or in the 5A and 6A championship. And in fact, they're like a 5-minute drive from each other almost, you know.
To nobody's surprise. They are fantastic, those schools. And it really could have, I mean, Salem Hills could have been there. Pleasant Grove, I mean, such great baseball programs down there. Down here. Outside. An interesting note about that 6A. Skyridge swept American Fork in the last series of the regular season. Won all 3 games. I think 2 of the 3 were pretty close. And for American Fork,
Pintar.
They went into the playoffs on an L6, and now they're in the championship series.
Wow.
Yep.
Congratulations to them. And that is, what an exciting 5th inning. Wow. 8 runs scored. We'll be back to start the 6th inning here in just a bit.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Top of the 6th inning. 5-3. What a 5th inning. No runs through the first 4, and we got 8 in that fifth. And we said in the previous half inning, Ava Stoddard 9 outs away from forcing a game 3. And now Avery Sapp's going, hey, I'm 6 outs away from a 3-peat state championship.
That's right. And probably a 3-time MVP.
Very good chance, absolutely. And she faces the number... Oh, wrong one. Number... Hot Claire Yates up.
Yeah.
Number 8 hitter. She's 0 for 2.
Ooh, 3 balls. No strikes here for Yates.
Still looking for her first hit of the series.
And there's a strike. So a 3-1 count now here against Yates.
She had that hard hit ball to second base in the 4th inning that Tatum Hall made a great play on to get out at end the inning.
This one.
Chopper, she's going to get on.
Beautiful play there by Peyton, but can't beat her.
No, just chopped it just soft enough to not get to Peyton Hall in time.
And so Yates is safe at first, no outs.
Leadoff runner on for the 3rd time today for Bountiful.
And here comes Miley Burns. Burns, ball 1.
Ironically, Bountiful in the last inning when they scored their 3 runs, they did not get the leadoff runner on. That was a strikeout by Miley Burns to end that inning. And then it was 4 straight base hits.
What an inning after, again, having scoreless innings.
And really, if you're from the coach's standpoint and looking at that, it was the errors. The errors made the runs possible. If the plays were made, they would have been not 1, 2, 3 innings, but routine innings, and we may still be 0-0 going into the 6th inning. But the plays weren't made, and then Paige Pierce, she made the most of it.
Yeah, with that home run.
And
3-shot home run.
Yeah, and Peyton Hall doubling off the wall.
Strike there by Burns, and two balls, 1 strike. She does not come through, so a 3 balls, 1 strike. She says no. Checked over there. Oh, 4 balls. I thought maybe that last one was a strike.
It looked over the plate, but maybe it was a little high. Yeah. The wind feels like it's picking up. It's blowing in from left field here. And when Paige Pierce hit her home run, it had started to pick up a little bit too, which tells you how hard she hit it to still clear that center field fence. And top of the order, J.C. Alvey. She tripled last time up. Got that big inning going.
I was trying to think which
Redhawks.
one. Was that the one where she hit it over the left side?
Yeah, hit it right over
third
Peyton
base.
Hall's head, yep. Down into the corner. Actually, it was played, but then bobbled it down into the corner.
That's right.
Well, tried to.
She's looking to slap bunt.
Now 0-2 hole. The breeze is definitely picking up.
They're getting a little wind here. It's a chilly wind, too. I mean, it's definitely not hot by any means. Probably not too bad. Feels pretty good out in the sun. Little breeze. But it's like an overcast sun. 1-2 count here for Alvey. No outs. And runners at first and second for Bountiful. They're down by 2 here. 2 runs, and try to even it back up here. They're going to need something. Alvey going to strike out. Here comes Melissa Turpin.
There's 3 lacrosse state championship games going on today in Harriman, and they're in a lightning delay, and they're starting to wonder if they're going to even get him in. Is that dropping?
It does drop.
Oh, and a base running mistake there.
And she doesn't get back, and they get the double play.
Fly out to center. And then the runner at first caught way up to second base.
She was way too close.
And now Spanish Fork is 3 outs away as we head into the bottom of the 6th, where they will be looking to pile on some insurance runs.
Well, let's see if they can continue what they did in the 5th inning.
Yeah, so lacrosse, they're in a lightning delay. I don't know if we're going to get 3 lacrosse championship games in. They got 3 games to play.
3 games to play? Is it a series?
No, 6A, 4A, 5A.
It's your 3 classifications all being played at the same field?
Yes.
You probably don't get a whole lot of lacrosse referees here in Utah. It's a newer sport.
It's a newer sport. This is year 4, but the first year COVID canceled.
Probably don't have a whole lot of teams that are participating in
well,
lacrosse
right now
either.
it's most of the 6A and 5A programs are. The Logan schools all do. My understanding is next year the St. George schools are going to join in. They play, but they're more on a club level. It's not UHSA level yet. But probably have over most of the 6A, 5A, 4A teams doing it next year. But wind is picking up here for sure.
Is Matt running camera 1 now?
We have a change out there. Pinch hitter looks like, number 22 for Spanish Fork. Olivia Carroll. She's going to pinch hit for the number 9 hitter, Leah Higginson.
Olivia Carroll there.
Olivia Carroll, she's a
Oh, they're going to call a strike there. So
357 hitter. She's had 28 or 36 plate appearances this year. Chance to get in the game. She's a junior.
good substitution here there. Change up, and she watches it. It comes in. Ball 2. Carroll's going to foul this one out of the park. So 2 balls, 2 strikes now for Carroll.
So in the UHSAA record books, Manti and Bear River have won 11 state titles in their school history, Tooele at 10, and coming into today, Bingham and Spanish Fork were tied at 8. Currently, Bingham is alone at 9, and Spanish Fork is 3 outs away from 9.
Right. How interesting.
And Bear River, they got to 11 this year by winning the 4A title up here last week. They had a force at Game 3. They lost Game 1, came back to win Game 2 and 3 up here to beat Ridgeline.
And Carroll cracks this one. Go. It barely goes foul.
Great swing. Great contact. She's just too quick. She was just too fast.
Come through too fast.
In the on-deck circle, we're back to be the top of the lineup with Jade Romero. And it was hard hit grounder to short last inning, even though it was an error that got it going.
So Stoddard with the full count here against Carroll. No outs. And she will throw this one in high, and Carroll will take her base.
Looks like we'll get a courtesy runner here for the pinch hitter. Do we get Leah Higginson back out there? No.
No, it's going to be Lee. Oh, it is Leah Higginson.
Yeah.
Yep. You're right.
Second time today, Leah Higginson's found herself on first base after a walk. One of them was hers. One of them was Olivia Carroll.
Just we only have one more half inning after that. Anyway.
And so here comes Romero.
All right, staying on one.
And Romero right up the middle. And Higginson will take third after the little bobble there in the center field.
And Jade Romero takes second. So the runners advance on another error.
So no outs.
Jordan takes second. Lead on ball. One camera two now.
As the 9th error of this game. And you wondered, game 1, no errors. Pitcher's duel.
Yeah.
You got to wonder if the tension and the nervousness and
Did it carry into this game? I think so.
If they just
and at some point they all kind of cracked a little bit,
yeah,
right?
Some of them are routine plays that just they didn't make routine, and
Staying on one.
got an app on your phone that reads wind speed. I'm curious what we're getting up to here. It's pretty good wind blowing in.
You can just feel the breeze coming in.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Flag is whipping out in left field.
it'll be interesting to watch these as that one is over.
Goodbye.
Another home run.
Into the wind.
And this one by Tatum Hall. She smacks that one over the fence in the same spot that Paige Pierce did it.
Identical spot. When we talked about Tatum Hall, leading hitter on the team, batting average coming into the series, and she was 0 for 6 prior to that. 2 strikeouts today.
Looks like they're going to make a pitching change.
And now the rain's coming.
Maybe not. Lady is talking to Stoddard here.
Ella Miller would be the pitcher they would go to, the third baseman, and she went in to get her gear.
Stoddard does not look happy, and for obvious reasons. Senior that now she's had 2 home runs hit off of her, and
well, and you got to wonder.
And you can see the rain coming down out there.
Well, and you know, in the 6A series, Mickey Jackson, the Bingham coach, she has 2 pitchers, and she mixed and matched them. It was almost predetermined. She didn't want to have the same hitters get the same looks.
A decent amount of rain out there.
Yeah.
Not too much, but the wind is kind of blowing it around. So,
and you just have to wonder there. That was the 8th time Tatum Hall saw Ava Stoddard. Maybe
finally,
she started to figure it out
right.
a bit, what to expect.
Well, they're amazing hitters.
Yeah.
And at some point, you wondered
Well, it was the
if they would.
12th home run of the season for Tatum Hall.
Wow.
So it's just 2, 3, and 4 guys.
And the thing is now you're down 8-3. You're down 5. You only have 3 outs left.
So I'm going to come to
But Spanish Forks is not done. There's no outs.
No.
And you have the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up. Probably prompted the change.
Well, I tell you what, the tension that they were having, now all of a sudden I'm seeing some smiles down over there. So, you know, when they were down 3-0,
A lot of smiles.
3-0, there was some trying to three-peat, and worried that game 2 was going to get out of hand. Would she have something on her wrist that she had to remove? And so we are ready to get going here. Miller comes in high. It's ball one.
Peyton Hall, she really did have that. I feel like the hit that changed the whole dynamic of this game. That double off the wall to right field. Because the batter before her, Jade Romero, she'd reached on an air, but the next batter up had struck out, so really it was just runner at first, one out. But that double off the wall scored a run.
Back to 2.
And it's been, they've just pounded the ball since that.
Staying at 2.
Peyton Hall with a 1-2 count now. Ella Miller on the mound for the Redhawks, and be a foul ball.
Right over to 4.
So Ella Miller plays third base, and
Back to 2.
She's been the number 2 pitcher for Bountiful. She's actually thrown quite a bit this year. She's 9-1 record, so
Staying at 2.
and Ava Stoddard's 14-3, so she's definitely thrown a lot.
so they just switch off where Miller comes in to pitch, and now Stoddard goes over to third.
In fact, Ella Miller, she's the game that got Bountiful here, their 5-3 win over Salem Hills on Wednesday. Ella Miller started. Didn't quite have her stuff. Bella came in and settled it down. So she's pitched in big moments this state tournament.
Foul ball there makes it a 2-1 count.
And really for her, she comes in, it's just keep the score line where it is. I mean, you have a very tall task ahead of you in the top of the 7th.
Well, I think after that second home run, I think, Stoddard was visually frustrated as Miller gets a strikeout.
Big strikeout there.
That is the first out of this inning, or of this, the here in the bottom of the 6th. But they are definitely got a big task ahead of them coming up in the 7th.
Looks like the rain's still coming down.
Just a light drizzle here. Foul ball here for Sapp. The netting has a nice bounce to it.
Yeah.
They foul off of it. It bounces it right back into play a little bit. Miller's pitch is outside, ball 1 against Sapp.
Well, Avery Sapp stepping up. She's 1 for 2 today. She did reach on an air.
You can see the rain coming down now.
Yeah. And
kind of a drizzle. And Sapp right up the middle. That'll be a base hit.
And barring some crazy 7th inning, that'll be the last high school at-bat for Avery Sapp. One phenomenal player the last 3 years. Probably for her, super satisfying. Just like Kiara Smith in that 6A game. Last at-bat was a grand slam. Avery Sapp, singles, tremendous career. Spanish Forks produced a lot of great ones, as evidenced by this, if they wrap it up here, 9 state titles in school history.
Wow.
And Avery Sapp's right up there with him, being a 3-year starting pitcher.
It's not raining too hard to where I don't think it's going to affect them too much. They're able to dry the ball off in their hand.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's going to that's the thing. You've got to keep it dry because it could start to affect the release.
Yeah, affect the spin.
Outside ball one. So 1-1 count here against Archuleta with 1 out.
Elise Archuleta, she's been on base every time this series but one. All 3 yesterday and 2 of 3 today.
That's pretty impressive for the game we've seen.
Yeah. Just has constantly put pressure on the pitcher. Ava Stoddard just being on base.
Foul ball.
Still just the 1 out.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Here comes Miller's pitch. And it goes over the head.
Tried the change, and you wonder if the wet ball contributed to that. She threw it over the catcher.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that it's got to be these wet conditions, and it's not that it's too wet, but it's wet enough that it's gonna start causing a little bit of an issue. Boy, they're getting some rain coming off of the. It's dripping off of the.
Yeah, I think that's the accumulation.
The canopy.
I don't know that it's raining at the moment. And only appropriate that Elise Archuleta gets on base. She's lived at first base this series.
Yeah, well, for a second, and then they'll give her a substitute runner a lot of the times. Doesn't look like they're going to this time.
Paige Pierce stepping up.
Her last up at bat was a home run. Really, the home run that...
But they were down 3-2. I mean, Her one swing gave him the lead.
Check swing, but it's still strike, and... Yeah, I think the rain has let up. And there's a hit right to the shortstop. They get it to third, get the out.
Nice force play by the short. Probably feels great for her.
Good heads up.
Ellie Olson stepping up now.
So 2 away.
Ellie's still looking for her first hit this series.
Bill, can you get the
Are they going to do a runner or are they going to do a pinch hitter here?
on to 3?
Pinch runner. Substitute runner is going to go in for...
Order 74, running
for Pierce.
number 11, Taylor Reed.
Yeah, get her pitcher or catcher gear on as we are nearing 7th inning. Foul ball. 1 out away from getting out of the 6th.
Due up for Bountiful in the 7th is the 3, 4, 5 hitters. Stoddard, Tonganavai, and Miller. You need a big inning, and those are 3 that you're glad to see coming up.
Foul ball. So now Olson finds herself in a hole. And keeping herself alive. Ball one.
Fifth batter that Ella Miller has faced since she came into the game.
A little change up that I think come in high. Yeah. And so now 2 balls, 2 strikes on Olson. So Spanish Fork with the 5-run lead. They can hang on to this, and she'll strike her out. And so we're going to go in here into the 7th inning when we come back.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy.
And so here we find ourselves in the 7th inning. Spanish Fork leading 8-3 after a big 5th inning, and then the 6th inning, another home run to add to it, up 8-3 over Bountiful. After Bountiful had a big momentum boost with 3 in the 5th, and now off the fence. Off the fence for Stoddard as she'll double.
That fence there looks like it's like 213, and she had that 212. That was a great swing on that ball. And another senior. If there's not a huge comeback, feel good about that last at bat. There'll be more in college for sure.
Tonga Onobai.
3 for 3, or 2 for 3 today.
In the dirt. Spanish Fork got game 1 by 1 run, with only 1 run.
Five-run cushion now in the 7th.
This one started out like game 1. 4 innings of nothing. And then the 5th inning just blew up.
Yeah. Good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. And then the defense started to let it down just a little bit.
We got some
errors.
errors.
And then the bats woke up.
Yeah. Yeah, a little combination of all of it, right? Oh. Into the Spanish Fork fans.
That young fan almost ran into the foul ball as she tried to escape the foul ball.
So 1-2 count here for Athena Tonga Onobai. What was that, a ball that was being thrown back in?
Yeah, the foul ball. Tried to throw it to the ump, just threw it a little bit off. So if you're Bountiful here, I mean, you're down 5. You only have 3 outs. You do have your leadoff runner on. It's really, you just got to have.
It's just one hit at a time.
Yeah, you just got to find a way.
One hit at a time.
Be as productive as you can at the plate.
That one going to come down, infield fly out.
And pop out to Tatum Hall at second.
And here comes Ella Miller. High, ball one. Spanish Fork 2 outs away from being three-peat state champs. In the dirt.
Ava Stoddard will take third. And for Spanish Fork's 3 seniors, Avery Sapp, Peyton Hall, Ellie Olson, and Paige Pierce. They graduated on the diamond earlier this week up at Cottonwood Complex, and 2 outs away from being 3-time state champs.
Couldn't even make it to their own graduation, huh?
Well,
So they had
Bountiful did today too. They're 2 seniors. They did their graduation here.
couldn't make it to graduation, so they had graduation right here on the diamond.
Happens every year. I think Tooele did the same thing at Cottonwood Complex.
2 balls, 2 strikes here against Miller. 1 out. Avery Sapp will continue her dominance on the mound, or we shall see.
Full count. And again, Ella Miller up, just trying to get on base.
She'll take her base.
The catcher tried to frame that up, but missed inside. So
Yeah, so this brings up Bo Hoff.
she singled last time up, her lone hit of the series. That was part of the 3-run 5th when they strung 5 hits together.
Going to get a substitute runner there for Miller in Olivia Trump. Oh, is it 9? Oh, it's 9. Yeah, that is 9. McKinley Duryea. I thought it said 8. No balls, 2 strikes here for Hoff. With 1 out and runners at the corner. Bountiful needs this, and she will strike out. So 1 out away. 1 out away here for the Spanish Fork Dons.
Strikeout number 5 for Avery Sapp. She had 12 in game 1, 5 in game 2. I believe it's 198 on the season.
Wow.
And in the mid-600s for her career.
Gets Galena to swing on that.
Galena is 0 for 2 today. She did reach on a walk in the 2nd inning. She had a double yesterday.
And they're going to call that one a strike. So now no balls, 2 strikes here against Frankie Galena.
Spanish Fork fans, a few of them are starting to stand up knowing this is a last strike.
Sapp. Ooh, Galena comes through, makes contact with her bat. Staying alive. This is just a routine pitch, or is it everything you got?
Just throw that rise ball.
Again,
Yeah.
off the bat.
Be surprised if she sneaks a change in here. Or, you know what? She's like, you know what? I'm just going to, let's get it done with the rise ball. It's my bread and butter. Oh, she did.
And right there past the first and second baseman. And Bountiful will score 1.
It looked like she maybe threw the change there. Definitely didn't have the same heat on it.
So Stoddard comes across, scores, and Claire Yates up to bat.
RBI single there.
Well, they need Yates and Burns both to
the tying runner
do
is
something.
in the on-deck circle. So that's a lot. That's a big ask with 2 out, but
and facing an Avery Sapp.
yes.
As that one comes across, strike 1.
But again, it's just about finding your way on. Claire Yates, she did single in the 6th, her last time up.
Swing. Strike 2. Oh, 2 count. Oh.
The catch, Paige Pierce wanted that.
And the crowd wanted it too.
They must have missed just inside.
So now a 1-2 count here for Claire Yates. Avery Sapp with the 1-2 pitch.
Let's pop up.
And no one can get there. It
bounces
goes foul.
They wanted it. All 4 players on that left side. Even Jade Romero was almost there. That's how hungry she is for that 3rd out.
I mean, this one is as close as it comes to being in the bag at this point. All you got to do is catch it. All you got to do is get that strike, whatever it is. Yates trying to keep the Redhawks alive here, needing a hit. Comes in high. That'll be ball 2. Ooh, patience there in the batter's box. And she'll make the hit and the catch, and the Spanish Fork Dons are your 5A state champs.
Line out to first. Put out by Elise Archuleta, and a 3-peat is confirmed. For an 8-4 scoreline, it was pretty fun game where both sides felt the tension, felt like it could have gone the other way.
Boy,
about midway through the 5th inning.
Yeah, four innings in, and again, it was looking to be another pitcher's duel like it was last night. Instead, Bountiful decides to change things up in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, a pair of 3-run homers there. Paige Pierce with a 3-run homer that gave him the lead for good in the 5th. And Tatum Hall, 3-run homer to center field in the 6th. They looked almost identical home runs. Straightaway center, power, and there you go.
That was it.
The number 1 seed does what the number 1 seed you expect them to do. But Bountiful, great fight. Both games were close.
If you got to pick an MVP for this Spanish Fork team.
Well, it's hard not to give it to Avery Sapp considering everything she does on the mound, and I'll give it to her, but Elise Archuleta on base 6 out of 7 times, put constant pressure on that. Those things are just so important, especially when a lot of those power hitters were not productive until really probably the last handful of innings. So
that consistency that kept them in it.
Just always making the pitcher know there's someone on base. And it makes it tough, absolutely.
Well, James, thanks for
it was fun
coming along.
Absolutely. Glad to chat and hang out. I was here anyway covering it for the Deseret News. So, yeah, if you're listening, read my story later.
Well, Spanish Fork, again, is your 5A state champions as they beat Bountiful here 8-4 in this game, Friday afternoon game. And it was good weather. We had a little bit of rain there in about the 6th inning, but didn't last very long. And so Again, Spanish Fork coming away with the big win. Bountiful thought they looked like they looked like they might pull off the upset, but Spanish Fork bats came alive and put them right back into the game.
Yeah, that's the bow on the softball season right there. It was wild. It was chaotic. The weather was miserable in March, unless you were in St. George. But they wrapped it up, state championship.
Well, good luck to all those seniors that as they played their last game today, as they go on to bigger and better things. I'm Mark Winterton. James Edward joining me, and we are out. James, thank you.